Inside, he walked through a corridor to a comfortable compartment. The background was dominated by a huge portrait of Marshal Amin making the salute, huge fingers jutting, the medals on his chest shining. There were files on a table, a battery of golden Parker pens, a black telephone, and a general's woolen hat. Suddenly, General Bazooka's imposing frame obstructed the light. He had emerged from another compartment and stood erect in an immaculate uniform adorned with medals, a gleaming holster at his side, a swagger stick in one hand. He measured Bat up for one long moment before stepping forward, bending a little and gripping his hand in a crushing handshake which was meant to show him who the boss was. He sat down with a grin on his face, commented on the fine weather, patted his hair, strapped himself in the seat, and gave the order to take off. I am sure that we are going to have a very good working relationship. You can tell a man by the way he shakes hands. First, I am taking you on a tour. If at the end you are unimpressed, then I will interview somebody else. But I have never been wrong in my estimation of a man. Thank you, General. The Avenger took off precariously like a creature off balance. It veered to one side, then the other, making the shrill noise of a tormented beast. Bat looked out and saw the city fading under him, reduced to a patchwork of colored roofs, cut by the road network, dotted with the treetops. A church steeple loomed in the distance, menacing like a spear sharpened to impale condemned sinners. For a moment he thought about the astrologer's Learjet, and he wondered whether the man had also been interviewed in the air. From what he had heard about the sensational spread of astrology in the country, and the evidence of it he had seen in the newspapers, he concluded that if astrologers built churches, the skyline would be crowded with their spires. His mind wandered, and he remembered stories about British tycoons who held business meetings in private jets, aboard yachts, or from inside golden coffins. It struck him that the general might be playing at that kind of eccentricity in a bid to impress or intimidate. The most beautiful city in the world, the general said emphatically, as if anticipating stiff opposition. Bat didn't agree, but said nothing. He looked out the window as if to confirm his views. Do you know why? It is because I own a fifth of it. I own a fifth of everything in this country. That comes down to about 4 million people, 10 million fishes, 2,000 crocodiles, 20 islands, and much more. You can imagine the feeling. There is nothing like it, I can assure you, he said, looking outside for a long moment as if to make sure the city was still there, a smug smile on his face. On any other day, Bat might have panicked, but today he was determined to succeed and was not going to let anybody stand in his way. A man who openly boasted about owning a fifth of the country could be managed. All it took was studying his ways, finding his weaknesses, and going around him. Right now I'm looking for somebody who's hungry and dedicated. Loyalty is paramount and disloyalty a cardinal sin. This government hates half measures, I can assure you. You have it all, or you lose the whole lot. You're either in or out in the cold. It has taken me 20 years to get where I am, and I like it. If you are ready to work hard, I guarantee you the fulfillment of your dreams, he said somberly. I intend to do all I can for the good of the ministry, Bat said, looking the man in the face. I am flying you to Jinja, to the source of the Nile. It is where I grew up. It is also my headquarters. Bat opened his mouth to say something, but the general cut him off. Flying makes a man a god, I can assure you. It is only from above that you can appreciate the taste of power and the size of the job at hand. As the boss of the anti-smuggling unit, I deal with smugglers. Aided by the CIA, Kenya is destabilizing our country by encouraging those bastards to ferry coffee to her borders.